Hello, my name's Ben.
Hi, my name is Anita.
Welcome to our plant paradise. I am an organizational psychologist.
I'm an actress, theatre practitioner and writer.
And I actually didn't have too much to do with plants until this summer. I'm doing loads of music, I'm also doing some artistic stuff, I'm also doing some acting. And this didn't actually, wasn't part of my life up until lockdown 2020.
Yeah, and for me the same actually. So I'm still like kind of a beginner in terms of plants. But I also love sports, so I'm doing a little bit of qigong and jogging. I just started out a pottery course, so I love pottery, for example.
We need some pots for these plants.
Exactly. So yeah.
So these are just some of our plants, but here you can see some of the most important plants. A friend of mine gave me some chili seeds over the summer because I love all things spicy and hot. So I want to grow my own chilies so I could make my own hot sauce of it. Unfortunately, no chilies have come as of yet. These were outside for quite a while and they've grown quite a lot, but I was hoping they would grow quicker. I tried all within my power so they would grow as quickly as possible because I want to harvest those chilies. Here they are.
Yeah, because at the moment it's pretty cold outside, it's autumn. However, during spring and summer, we can just climb out of this window onto our little makeshift balcony. So it is not like an official balcony, but we made it to our little balcony. And we started to grow all kinds of plants there. So we grew lavender, we grew rosemary, basil, so different kinds of herbs. What else did we grow? Some flowers, wild flowers, dahlia.
This whole green balcony outside now, you just see this like empty shelf or this empty shelf out there. But it used to be all green. We all got them in during the summer. They used to catch quite a lot of light outside because the sun's perfectly moving in the direction of our balcony, so they got quite a lot of light, but since they are inside, some of them look a bit more sad, so hopefully we can place them outside very, very soon again. Actually, this is what I would say my favorite plant, because it used to come off one of these basil plants here, and we put it into a bit of water, and obviously if you put them into water they die after a while, but I could see that there were these little tiny roots coming out and it was fighting for its survival. And I thought, we have to give it another chance after it had survived, probably broken off the stem and survived inside a glass of water for, 4 or 5 weeks. And I thought, okay, we need to give this one a chance. Put it in here or put it into a smaller tray where you could look through, like these transparent ones, and I could see these little roots from below after a while, and I was massaging it every single day and watering it every single day, and there you go, it's growing again. So.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to watch the plants actually fight for their lives, because our balcony is actually at a very windy position, so the wind is coming like all day, and at the beginning when you put like little baby plants there, they actually quite suffer from that. But then after some time, you can actually observe how the stems of the plants get stronger
and how they wrap themselves around.
How they wrap themselves around like different kinds of sticks and pots and or around other plants even, just in order to survive in this wind.
And this one has survived. This one is a fighter. This one will survive. That's the survival plant. Here's my favorite little basil plant.
Yeah, what else do we grow? We have a tomato, which is growing very fast. We have mint, we have chamomile, coriander.
The tomato almost didn't survive because there was another wild plant in there, and when we had a look why it wasn't growing so much, we took it out of the pot, and this other plant was like chokingly wrapped around all the delicate
the roots of the other plant, were basically choking the tomato.
It was literally wrapped around the roots of the tomato, choking the tomato. So we removed we moved these two plants into different pots, and since then the tomato is growing again, not being choked anymore by the other plant. It was literally a long choking network, of the other plant, but now they're separate. They're growing separately from each other. Separated them.
Okay, so basically when we discovered the space outside, the little balcony, I think the initial motivation to have some plants there was simply to have like some decoration, like some sort of decoration. So I went to Morrison's and like bought these little plants, and then I put them on there. And then after some time, I discovered that whenever I was, taking care of the plants, I felt better, like throughout the day. And this is how it developed then, because then I started not only to buy more plants, but also to grow them myself, or that we grew them ourselves. So
you had plants for a long time to like become a plant person. I actually never knew that, I would love it so much, and that it had such an impact on my well-being, and apparently also on my mental health. But it's just something about the connection between you, your hands, and the earth. So it's like developing a new relationship to earth and to nature, and it's just so beautiful to watch something grow, and also you know that's like kind of your creation as well. And I just jumped on the bandwagon. I wasn't interested in plants at all up until I just saw our place becoming greener. And I have to say, it's much nicer if it's greener than if it's just empty, or if there's something else. Same with like if you just put colorful stuff in your house, or art or whatever, it just like elevates your mood. And I, as a psychologist, know that those things actually have an impact on your well-being. It's proven scientifically that plants have an impact on your well-being, or if it's green around you. And I just saw you doing all of your little planting and suddenly stuff growing. And whenever I went outside, I was also having a look, and I could have a direct look at the development of these plants. I mentioned the basil before. These are like living things that react to their environment. They're just not as reacting as quickly as like animals or we do. They just need a bit more time. And I just got very interested for my own purpose in my chili plants. And after some time I kind of got into it as well, even though I've always told myself I'm not interested. But I organically, organic.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the plants are not only like some green decoration around you. You can also use them. You can grow chilies. You can grow all the different kinds of herbs and like put them in your food.
Rosemary, potatoes.
Rosemary, and plants actually like that. So I discovered, for example, with the mint plant, whenever I was picking just a few mint leaves, they were growing even more and wildly, and it's just something beautiful to observe, because it's like, the plant is benefiting from you, and you are benefiting from the plant,
And if you have a little plant which is growing, and then that plant doesn't make it, or it's dying, you like kind of, you feel with the plant, you want it to grow and you want it to grow back. Like this pot here, I've been waiting for this chamomile to grow back since the summer. I still have hopes. I'm still convinced it will come back at some point. It hasn't yet, it still needs its own time, but I'm sure it's going to come back at some point.
And another very, very nice side effect is also that you attract bees, butterflies and other pollinators, which is like so important for a balance, like a healthy balance in your ecosystem, also in the cities, because bees are like, without bees we couldn't survive on Earth. Like we need healthy soil, we need clear air, and also like the food supplies. Like there's something called the hidden hunger, because all the micronutrients that you can find in plants, like people don't get enough from that. And so it's just, I don't know, I would say, like, even if we, only contributed to the survival of 7, 8 bees and maybe 2 or 3 butterflies. Just imagine if everybody would have like a little balcony where they can, attract 6 or 7 bees and contribute to their survival. How many more bees would we have in the city, and how many more bees would there be in the world? It's just, it's just amazing. Okay, so basically, obviously during summertime, when it's really, really hot outside, it's really important to take care of your plants every single day, because it happened to me with the cosmos that I didn't water it for one day during a very, very hot period. And then immediately it looked so sad, and the leaves and all and the flowers, they were just hanging. But then you can also, make the mistake, quite the opposite mistake, of watering them too much. For example, lavender doesn't need so much water, and that's not good for the plants as well. Or if you overwater them, and then if the roots are coming out at the bottom of the pots, and then the roots are in the water, it's not good. With some of the plants, even like little mushrooms were popping up when I overwatered them. But I think the biggest challenge for me or for us are the green flies, because for some reason they just keep coming back. They just love our plants. Inside, like every week we have to take care of the green flies, like these little bugs, and there are some tricks, you don't need to use like a chemical spray. You can also just mix soap,
which is kind of a chemical.
Oh yeah, but if you use ecological soap with water and just mix it, and then you can just stroke the leaves with it, or you can even spray them in, like if you put it into a spray bottle, and that's like a bit more of an ecological way of getting rid of the bugs. But they are quite annoying, to be honest. But yeah.
Disease is also a thing. Like we had this mint plant that a friend of ours gave us, but then there were these little spots coming up on the plant, and we still don't know where it comes from. It's quite difficult to heal like a plant if it's got some sort of infection, so that's also been a challenge. And the mint didn't look it was always coming back because it's a very strong plant, but it was always a bit unhealthy, so we might have to get another mint plant which is not infected with something.
But it's really helpful to just speak to other people who are maybe more experienced in growing plants, because they can give you really, really good advice.
And you can exchange plants. Most of these plants have been given to us by other people. Favorite plant? I don't have a favorite plant. I have favorite plant types that I'm interested in. I was always interested in carnivore plants which eat insects. But last summer I bought one. It was this funnel plant that they never worked. I always had them at home, and I didn't know how to use them. You get them from the shop, and then they die after a while, and you feed them flies because flies don't go in there on their own. It never worked, but this summer I actually wanted to give it a proper try and plant them from the beginning. I missed it last summer. I had this funnel plant, but just before the summer started, it was outside during the winter and it survived. But then just before the summer started, it fell off our balcony and it was gone. I couldn't find it anymore. So this summer I wanted to be a bit more methodical and grow a couple of different carnivore plants. But as I mentioned before, I'm also interested in chili plants. I've seen these videos of how they create these like crazy hot chili plants, like the Carolina Reaper, and they just combine habanero plants with a different kind of plant, and then it's this like wrinkly, really like soul destroying so hot plant that you can't even imagine how hot it is. I tried it once, it was insanely hot. And yeah, ideally at some point in the future I'd like to do that, but let's see what happens with these chili plants first. I don't even know what it is. It was given to me as seed, so let's see.
Yeah, for me, I have so many different favorite plants, I would say. I think in terms of how beautiful the plant looks, I really, really loved my cosmos. And I just grew it out of some seeds as well, and it grew like 1 meter, and it had these beautiful flowers in rosy colors, and it was smelling so nice. So I think that is my favorite plant in terms of beauty. In terms of how you can use plants, I think the tomato is my favorite plant, because if you've ever eaten a tomato that you grew yourself, like, you never want to eat a tomato from the supermarket again, because it's yours. It's yours, yeah, it's yours. You have a different relationship to the food. You know what you're eating, but also it's just like an explosion in your mouth. Like the first time I've eaten a tomato that was grown in a garden, I thought, oh my god, I never ate a tomato before in my life. And I'm not exaggerating. It's really like that.
I want to make my own hot sauce. I want to harvest my own chilies. I've already watched loads of YouTube videos, and you just need to mix them, put the right oil in there and stuff like that. I want to make my own hot sauce, so I don't need to buy so much hot sauce anymore. That's the plan for the next summer. Hopefully this one will give me some nice chili so I can make my own hot sauce of it. And maybe that's gonna become a thing. Each summer I'm gonna make my own chili and my own hot sauce.
Yeah, I also definitely would like to grow my own food. So in case I won't be in the position to have my own garden and my own house, where you obviously have a lot of space, there are still, I think, so many opportunities to just grow your own food. For example, if you want to grow your own potatoes, you can just grow them in like a very plain little bag. So our dream is actually for next spring to grow some food on the rooftop, because we can climb, if we climb up a ladder, we have access to our rooftop, and there we would like to grow even more plants, even more herbs, potatoes, more tomatoes, chamomile, so I can make my own chamomile tea. Yeah, that's like really a thing, but also just creating this beautiful like bees paradise. I really want to contribute to just attract more bees and to contribute to their survival, because we just need them. We need bees. That's my dream. And also because I'm vegan, obviously that's very convenient for me to also grow my own plants, because I only eat plant-based food, and for me, like, there are so many different reasons why I'm vegan. One reason obviously is the health reasons, because I really noticed that I felt so much better since I'm vegan, because with all the plants, if you really consider, if you have like a good plan, because you can also go into a different direction. Obviously you shouldn't eat chips all the time or just pasta, but if you have like a very diverse range of plants that you can eat, or plant-based food, like it's not only vegetables, let's put it like that, then you just have everything that you need, all the nutritions, all the vitamins. And the other reason is also the environmental and ecological impact, because I would like to reduce my carbon footprint, and actually the production of meat has such a big impact on our environment. Even just growing the food for the animals, it's just it has an impact, for example, on things like deforestation. So I know that probably it's like it would be like a very big thing to grow all your food. Like that's something where I'm like, okay, that's like a lifetime project. I don't think that that's something that we will ever gonna do. But at least like sometimes, you know, that you put the tomatoes that you grew like once in a while into your salad, or that you know, cook your bubble, like your British bubble, with the potatoes that you grew. And yeah, as I said before, it's just a different relationship to your food as well, and you really know where it comes from, and that no animals had to suffer for it, or that like nobody, like also no people have been exploited. So yeah.